Take two. Okay, so give you some history of Simpson Church and the food pantry.
Simpson Church was originated in 1882, and they saw a need. The congregation saw a need for people needing groceries in the neighborhood. So anybody that came to our door, they would take them right down into our basement church kitchen and load them up and send them on their way. And then every Sunday, members would just clean out their cupboards or buy groceries and bring them back and restock the kitchen shelves again.
And you and your family's involvement, when did that start?
We started probably just about 72 years ago when my parents moved into the neighborhood just down the block. So we've been involved and baptized and married in the church all my life.
And you've taken the baton from your parents to keep the pantry alive.
Yeah.
When did that kind of officially start?
So our elders started it officially in the 70s, and they started, my mom was helping stock, give out food. Cheryl's mom was involved stocking it. Dean's mom was in charge of the food pantry. And then from there, our parents just became the elders, and they kind of like passed the baton. We would just fill in when they weren't feeling good or didn't want to go. So what you see taking over the pantry now, doing all its tasks, are actually second generation. And now that we're moving on and found a co-partnership with Source, you'll actually see some of the third generation sitting on our board.
How has this neighborhood changed since you've been around?
Used to be lifelong families growing up, and then it's just become a transitional neighborhood. So it's a lot of foot traffic that we find, and that's why centrally located in the Whittier neighborhood, and with the Metro bus and the thoroughfares that they can get to us easy. So it was inevitable for us to stay in this area with the food pantry.
Give me us a little bit of the last 10-year history of being at Simpson, what's happened to the congregation, shelter, congregation closing down, you transitioning here, building being taken down. So give us a glimpse of the last 10 years of the pantry.
So over the last 10 years, it just got really horrendous trying to keep the building standing, avoiding leaks, fixing doors and stuff with the constant movement we had in the building with the shelter, starting a new Spanish church in our neighborhood, and then also expanding the food pantry to accommodate all the families we're seeing with food insecurity. So we started out with 400 square feet. The boiler started dying. We went from 20 buckets catching water in the attic to maybe about 50 buckets catching water in the attic, and the congregation depleting. So what was left of the congregation decided the best move was to donate the building and the property to one of our missions, and then we would retrofit into that building along with the shelter. So once we did that, we found out we had COVID. Cost of everything went up, the size of the footprint of the building shrunk, and everybody dug in to see where we could move our pantry, where we could move the shelter, and where we could move the Spanish church. Luckily, we've all found places. The shelter found an old church, Zion, just a few blocks away. The Spanish church moved into Park and is residing over there. And then the food pantry was fortunate enough to find someone that had the same mission that we did in the neighborhood with Source. And here we are today.
And tell us just give us a really brief snapshot. What happens here every Tuesday morning?
So every Tuesday morning, we try to hit the moms and dads that are coming home from work over graveyard so they can pick up their groceries in the morning before they have to get home for the kids. Or it's after they drop the kids off at school. We found it imperative that we have a daytime pickup. So that was sourced during the afternoon, and then the pop up on the weekends, and then our Saturday covers all the other angles for a lot of the families. Trying to make it fit for them and their schedules and stuff, so we can try to eliminate some of the food insecurities.
Awesome. And just give us a snapshot, or just, most people come here Tuesday mornings don't have cars.
Right.
And it's about 60 families.
Yeah.
So
So on Tuesday morning, most of our traffic is either brought in by our Metro transit system, or it's neighbors walking in a couple blocks. We do have them coming all the way from Lake Street, all the way from Hennepin, from Portland Avenue. They come in quite a bit from, spread out areas too, not just locally for some reason. But it's all foot traffic for the neighborhood, which has made it convenient for all our neighbors and stuff like that.
One or two favorite stories of the recipients or people that come that are endearing to you?
So, I can't think of her first name right off, but it's really a cherished moment when we can bring out a fresh cabbage to one of our Asian recipients. And then she turns around and asks for another cabbage, and we never know why, but then she'll show up next week, and we know she's been up since 4 or 5 in the morning making fresh egg rolls for the entire staff. So that's part of how they treat us, and we treat them.
Give a shout out to the people that support Source, and just, you've expressed it already, but just your gratitude, just how we can partner.
With all the looking and hunting that we had to do to try to find some place to move, we couldn't ask for a better co-partnership with Source, and all the benefits we get from going from non-perishable items and moving strictly to an 80% of fresh produce and fruits and vegetables and proteins. That was the benefit of getting in here, so we could do that together.
Amen. Any last shout outs?
We gotta thank all of our partners that helped us get into this partnership. The FEN, Federation for Essential Needs, the Food Group, and Second Harvest for taking the time to sit with us to figure out how we were gonna order food, how we work with our individual 501c3s and stuff like that to make it clear on how we could become a good partnership, because it was all new to the network of two partnerships merging their benefits together to make it feasible to feed more people in the neighborhoods.
Excellent, Jeff. Thank you so much.
No problem.